social media, right, especially coming from a Christian, is good. It has good things, and it's done bad things, right? And even if you're not a Christian, we see this in our culture. We see the good that comes from social media. You know, it's amazing that we get to connect with different people from around the world. You know, that is amazing. That's awesome, right? People that share your views, people that have different views, and it can be a forum. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Stephen. Please like me, give me hearts. I need hearts because my opinions are so valuable. Yeah, there you go. Keep hearting me, please. Anyway, but what it's done, what social media has done, is made people believe that their opinions are more valuable than they really are. Your opinion is only as valuable as your reputation. Your opinion is only as valuable as the study you've done to go behind your opinion. And people think that their opinion actually matters. And for some people, your opinion just isn't that important. And social media has fed into this, the ego and the narcissism that comes, from the natural man, right? So our natural state, our sinful fallen state, our fallen state, right, is all about us. Me, I, right? And people think that when they say something on social media, right, that people should take them seriously. Or people should respect their opinion. There are some opinions I don't respect, okay? I don't respect atheism. I respect atheists, especially those who want to engage in dialogue. I don't respect atheism. I don't respect Islam, right? I don't. I respect Muslims, especially Muslims who are critical about what they believe, which unfortunately there's very few of them. Very few Muslims are actually very critical of what they believe. And so what we've seen and what I've seen, even just being on Periscope, and again, this is going to be anecdotal, so take it for, take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to believe me. If you spend any time on Periscope, you'll see this. Well, at least you see it as a worldview. There's so many people who are like, atheism isn't a worldview. Atheism doesn't even, factor into the way I view the world, which is nonsense. See, at least you're honest about it, okay? It's just another worldview. At least you're honest about it. Man, I can't, it's like, and that's the non-critical thinking that I cannot stand. Coming from a lot of atheists that just want to, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I appreciate it. Oh, man, that's funny. Anyway, and so what I've seen on Periscope is, especially if I'm doing a Q&A, if I'm, reading a bunch of comments and trying to respond to people, and, I haven't done it in a while. I did one recently. I haven't blocked anyone today, Eric. You want to get blocked? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't block you, dude. Especially when you're doing Q&A, right? All right, Eric, I won't block you, man. I'm just kidding with you anyway. When you're doing a Q&A and there's tons of questions coming in, right? People think that because they ask a question, they deserve an answer. You don't deserve an answer, right? Simply by asking a question doesn't mean that you've merited an answer. There are some questions that are better than others, right? Your question, just because you said it, isn't more important than someone else, right? And I see this all the time. And it's like these people some of these people are just starving for attention. Exactly, answer me. Or they'll say, you've ignored my question like 8 times, right? Yeah, green, yeah. Well, and part of it is some of them don't understand the platform. That's probably part of it. They don't understand how quickly these comments show up and disappear, especially if you're not using like Scope or Chat or something like that. You know, and they just don't understand the platform. They don't understand how it works. But there's some people who legitimately think that you're dodging a question or you don't want to answer a question because you ignore their question. And you're not necessarily dodging a question by not answering one. Okay? You also get the people that they don't like your answer. Yeah, that's true too. Some people are just nasty. That's true. From any ideology, from any worldview, there's nasty people. There's nasty people who call themselves Christians, which is a shame. That shouldn't happen, but it's true. And intention is key. And as I've been scoping for, I don't even know how long I've been on Periscope. What's up, Brian? Hopefully you're doing well, brother. You get a good sense of people's intentions. Hey, good morning. And that isn't to mean that I become a heart reader, right? That isn't to mean that I'm somehow able to read people's hearts. But you've seen so many questions and like the setup questions so many times, that you kind of know where they're going. And it's okay, right? So setup, I'm not even saying setup questions are bad. Okay? I do that with atheists a lot. And I think, Ethan, is your name Jonathan? I forget what you said on Foster Scope, but, Jason, that's right. And I did that last night with, whatever that atheist guy, atheist Husker, or I don't know, Corn Husker atheist, whatever. I'm asking him pointed questions, there's nothing wrong. There you go. My first block of the day. There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. So, there's nothing wrong with an atheist doing that to me and asking good questions. Travis Woolley has asked some good questions in the past. And there's a bunch of people who ask good questions. Yeah, I don't have my computer up, man. And so I'm not even saying that's bad, but you get an idea of people's intentions, where they're going with questions. And some people are just nasty. Some people don't actually want to have a conversation. They just want to get their point in. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he seemed a little upset last night. I think I was asking pretty fair questions. I wasn't, he said I was twisting his words. I was asking him questions and more like clarifying questions about where he was coming from, right? Because there are really big issues with subjective morality, and I'll probably end up doing a Periscope about that. And not necessarily responding to him, but just in general. There are some, I can call into, well, last night wasn't going to work, dude. I got 2 kids. I have 2 kids. I have to, go to bed at a decent hour. That was odd with the walk. Yeah. So anyway, I'm more than willing to have a conversation with people. I don't know how I feel about calling in. I would prefer an even platform like Google Hangouts, where he could scope to people saying, go to Google Hangouts or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I would have to find the time for that. Unfortunately, there just isn't a lot to be had. So anyway, guys, I have to start my day. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your Thursday, and beware of how social media is affecting you. Because even if we don't realize it, sometimes we do think that our opinion is more valuable simply because we said it. Some people's opinion definitely more valuable than another, based on credentials, life experience, based on their knowledge on a subject, right? Some people have more, their opinion carries a heavier weight than someone else's. But just because we all have an equal platform, like Twitter, or Facebook or Periscope, right? Everyone has access to that. Well, unless you're a conservative on Twitter, then you get banned like Milo Yiannopoulos. But yeah, right. And that's the issue, right? That's at the end of the day the issue. Brian pointed that out nicely with his sarcasm. And so retweeting something gross gets you banned. I'm not defending Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't follow him on Twitter. I don't care. Everyone's opinions matter. That doesn't mean we have to listen. No, some people's opinions actually don't carry. Actually don't carry as much weight as someone else's. Yeah, I mean, unless you're like threatening violence or something. I mean, come on. There's no. You're trying to tell me there's people on Twitter. Okay, good. That's what I'm saying. Deep cover. That's what I'm saying. Of course they did. Of course they did. The regressive left. That's pretty much the left nowadays. Like, it's unfortunate that seems to be like, and it's this, dude, the left is weird right now. I mean, the right's weird too. And I hate politics, but on the left, like, there is gonna be this like clashing of worldviews very soon, on the left, because you have people who are socially left leaning with their like policies and stuff, but they don't want to go as far as the regressive left. I know, right? Like, how crazy is that? I mean, come on. What? Like, how is 9 genders in any way rational or meaningful or logical? Like, come on. Seriously. It's and so there is this clash of worldviews that's going to happen, and it's actually happening in our country. Like, one little microcosm was Florida, right? Where you had a Muslim and a guy who, was, hated gays, and a Muslim who, who the left protects that ideology, killing gay people, and the left protects that ideology or that view, right? And it's like, people don't pick up on the fact that these things, like, Muslims kill gay people. Like, it's a terrible ideology. Why is the left protecting Islam? I don't get it, right? And it comes down to the fact that they view Muslim nations, because they're poor and they don't have a lot of money, and people starve there, as if they're oppressed. As if they're oppressed. And from liberal logic, if they're oppressed, then that must mean someone took advantage of them. And we must have taken advantage of them because we have prosperity in this country. We have opportunities to actually better ourselves in this country, and they don't. Christians kill. I have never, ever defended the person who kills abortion doctors. Name me one Christian. I do like Ben Shapiro, actually. Recently I've been listening to him a little bit. Name me one. Give me an article written by a Christian that isn't a King James onlyist, that is an evangelical Christian, Protestant, that defends the killing of the abortion doctor. The Thug Life videos, they're pretty funny. One. You can You know what? Tweet it at me. My Twitter handle is the same as this. Tweet it at me. One article defending the killing of an abortion doctor from a Christian. Just one. You can't do it. You can't do it. Can't, but that doesn't mean they're not out there. There you go. I'll have to check it out. I have to check it out. The abortion debate. Yeah, he has some interesting takes on abortion. Because he doesn't come from a Christian worldview. He comes from a monotheistic Jewish worldview, kinda. I don't really know how much he practices his religion. So give me one, Deep Cover. You said it. You said that Christians defend. You said that Christians defend the killing of an abortion doctor. Prove it. Or are you going to retract that statement? Just saying it's out there is like saying systematic racism, right, with no evidence. So no. Does that mean you're not going to retract the statement? Retract the statement. Okay, here's your options. Retract the statement or send me an article where a Christian has defended the killing of an abortion doctor. Those are your two options. Otherwise, you're dishonest. And I'm not saying you have to do it this second, okay? There's a lot of people who say, well, you make a claim, you have to do it this second. Tweet it at me. At Travis_C_Barry. Tweet it at me. Yeah, it happens in the back rooms where, there's no actual evidence of it. Right? There's no evidence of, there's no evidence of it, but it must happen, right? There's no evidence that atheists eat their babies, but I know it happens somewhere out there. Atheists eat their babies. Atheists eat their babies. It's out there somewhere. I can't prove it to you. But it happens. Take my word. Take my word. Right? Dude, you can't do that. Right? You can't. So you didn't say it's public. What? Okay, has a Christian told you that they defend that? I would love to get a hold of that Christian and talk to that Christian. Or are you just making stuff up? Okay, give me the names. On Twitter, tweet at me the names of the people, right, and their Twitter handles that told you they defend that. And I would like to ask them. Okay? And I'll ask them if they defend that. I don't know of a single Christian, I know lots of them, that would defend the killing of an abortion doctor. Yeah, but they ain't Christians, right? Even non-Christians understand, unless you're part of the regressive left that wants to clump all Christians in with Westboro Baptist Church and Steve Anderson, even non-Christians who are fair-minded to a degree understand that they do not represent Christian values or the Christian worldviews. My friends didn't think it was wrong. Give me their Twitter handle. Hit me up on Twitter. I would love to have a conversation with them. And if they're Christians, then I'm going to rebuke them and tell them to repent. God does not take pleasure in the spilling of blood. Now, the abortion doctors should be held accountable, but that's for the government. The government should be holding them accountable, not vigilantes. I dislike abortion. But if you're going to be pro-life, that doesn't mean you're going to take it. Well, so, hey, if you want to hear an interesting conversation about the Orlando thing, and I got to hop off after this, Dr. Michael Brown, who's a Christian, and a King James onlyist, kind of in the stream of Steven Anderson, he said, oh, I wish that guy killed more of them. There's a very good exchange that they had on Dr. Brown's radio program. And Dr. Brown lays out how that is unbiblical and it's nonsense. The majority of Christians, hefty majority, okay, of Bible-believing Christians fall under the camp of Michael Brown on that point. Okay? The nuts who rip scripture out of context and they want to hold to a single passage here and there are the ones defending that stuff. Okay? Anyone that's fair can understand that and see that. Okay, there's okay, so you cannot take an extreme viewpoint and say that they're Christians. They're not Christians. Right? They're not. They do not uphold scripture. They don't. They don't. There is a definition of Christian, and it matters. I can't say I'm a flamingo, and that makes me a flamingo. Anyway, we'll talk about this later. You know, good, you agree. Good. That's where it gets fuzzy, and Islam defenders have a point. Well, the difference is the Quran is extremely difficult to understand. There is no, but there is no stream of thought, right? And the what makes it even more difficult is some sects of Islam follow these hadith and this hadith and all of this stuff. It's almost like the Roman Catholics with all of the different councils and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That they bring in on top of the Bible. See, at least, different. I mean, that makes it extremely complicated. But so what makes a real Muslim? The Quran is very clear, right? It's pretty much you follow the 5 pillars, you confess that Muhammad is the last prophet, and that Allah is God, right? That if you do that, you're a Muslim. And so, you know, in Christianity, it's confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord. It's that heart part where Christianity makes a distinction between motive and intention and just action, right? And just action. And that's kind of where Christianity, that's one way Christianity is different than pretty much any other religion, is it's not just about your actions. It's not about what you do to get to God. It's what God did to get to you and change your heart. And so, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I got to get to work. And hopefully you have a blessed rest of your day. Grace and peace. We'll talk to you guys later.